Most people think recovery is physical. It's not. It's psychological first and physical second. When you get injured, what hurts most isn't your body, it's your identity. What's up YouTube, it's Ben, and in this video I want to address the psychological impact of dealing with an injury in recovery. When you get injured, you remember the version of you that trained, felt capable, and moved freely. But when all of that is taken away, your mind panics and you start asking yourself, who am I now? What if this never gets better? You begin to doubt yourself and feel very negatively. I know this because I've lived it. 4 years ago, my life stopped. A car accident, a brain injury, and a version of me that I had never met before. Before that moment, my identity was built on movement, sport like football, the gym, progress, momentum. I even studied sports science at university, and overnight it was gone. Not just the physical side, but the certainty of who I was. And I think this allowed me to learn something that I don't think most people get to learn. And it was that the hardest part of recovery wasn't the pain I was feeling, it was the uncertainty. And in that uncertainty, your mind begins to fill in the gaps with worst case scenarios. This is permanent, I'll never be the same again, and there's no point trying. And that voice is the thing that actually ruins people and prevents them from recovering fully. So basically what I'm getting at is the psychological impact of an injury is greater than the physical impact. I think that what the injury really does is force you to slow down whether you want to or not. And most people hate slowing down because when you stop moving, you start overthinking. You think about the direction your life is now going in. You think about your identity, you think about habits. And this is where people distract themselves, scrolling, numbing, escaping. It's easily done, but I think that's a mistake. Because with an injury, as brutal as it feels, create something rare. Space for you to reflect. But space can be dangerous or powerful. It just depends on how you use it. So I think you should reframe recovery. Don't think it's dead time. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is thinking, I'll just wait until I'm better. Because that mindset kills momentum. You can still build momentum during recovery. You're just focusing on other areas. Have a mindset in recovery of, this is not a pause, this is a pivot. Your body might be limited, but your mind isn't, so you need to use it. At the start of recovery, I didn't really have the awareness to know any different. I thought recovery was all physical. I thought I could only physically train. But as I've came through recovery, I've realised that you can mentally train as well. When you can't push physically, you reorganize yourself mentally. And this is where things like journaling become so powerful. Reading books becomes therapeutic, and goal setting gives you clarity that you need. These things seemed pointless before my brain injury, but now I think they're so useful as tools. A good way to think of it is that the injury isn't permanent, but the mindset and the skills you build during recovery can last for your lifetime. I think to give yourself the best recovery, it's crucial not to have a victim identity. What that means is that you control the controllables and you forget the things that you can't control. You can't control everything. You can't control the timeline of recovery. You can't control the outcome. But you can control the processes that you do each day. Controlling the controllables also means that if you have an injured arm, you can still use your legs. Don't forget about training altogether. Do what you can when you can. I think that's a crucial part of recovery. If you really can't train at all, you can still eat well, try and get as much sleep as possible, learn about your situation, and show up consistently. Do not have an all or nothing mentality that is so toxic and detrimental to your recovery. Don't be thinking, there's no point doing that, it's not worth it, it's too small. Small things always compound. I think I've learned this through going to the gym for years. At the time, you don't think it really makes a difference, but it does. The gym taught me that, but the accident and my life reinforced it. And I think the main challenge with recovery is that it messes with your head, especially when it's slow. There's no instant feedback, you can't really measure progress, and you don't get any dopamine hits. It's a difficult time. And I think what I've learned recently, which has really helped me, is that you're going to doubt yourself. Doubting yourself is normal. Again, the awareness of this gives you strength. I think one of the most important things in recovery is to stay consistent no matter what. If you can stay consistent even in times where you really doubt whether anything's working, this gives you real strength, and especially real strength in things moving forward. I feel like my recovery has been more than physical and it hasn't happened overnight, but I think because I showed up and repeated the boring basics and trusted the process even when there was no proof, I've built strength that has allowed me to improve in other areas of life as well. It's not about the efficacy or intensity of each effort, it's just about repetition. I think it's important to mention that doubting yourself doesn't make you weak. It gives you strength and it means you're aware, which is very important. Expecting this will give you strength you didn't know you had. When you start to doubt yourself or become frustrated, you don't panic. You're more measured and you can act accordingly. This is crucial to stop spiraling out of control and stay grounded. Recovery definitely teaches you emotional regulation, which is so important in life. And if you use this in recovery, it will help you be more resilient beyond the injury. Recovery, and certainly mine, has been a long journey. In coming through recovery and trying to improve day after day, I've stopped asking when will I be back to normal, and I've started thinking, who am I becoming by getting through this? That little shift changes everything because you start to lean into the challenge more and you start resisting it as much. Recovery is my overarching life project now. It's always in the background and I'm always thinking of it. It may not be at the forefront sometimes, but certainly 95% of the time, discipline is vital. It has to be when you're rebuilding everything. I've started leading with my mindset and watching my body physically catch up. If you're injured or in recovery right now, it's important for you to understand this. You're not broken or behind, you have an opportunity. You're in a phase that most people never master or get the opportunity to experience, and that is forced reflection. So use it, build habits, strengthen your character, sharpen your mind, and develop discipline without motivation. This period of time is demoralizing, but you can become someone different during it, so use it. So recovery taught me that life is very fragile, but also very precious. So it is important to do what you can when you can. So in recovery, if you can't train physically, you can still train mentally. And this is going to have such a great return on investment, so you may as well do it when you can't do anything physically. So show up, control what you can, and play the long game. Consistency beats intensity every time. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Peace.